Every time our MPT youth served at the soup kitchen, you were there. Every time a young person sang on stage with Broadway performers, you were there. Every time our college interns performed on Broadway with Kristen Chenoweth, you were there. Every time we trained our next generation of leaders in our youth board meetings, you were there. Every time a young person learned from a pro in our So You Want to Be a Broadway Star event, you were there. Every time we entertained senior citizens, you were there. Every time our youth worked with a Broadway pro, you were there. Every time NPT collaborated with another nonprofit to raise awareness, you were there. Every time NPT Teaching Stars worked with young people, you were there. The Board of Directors of NPT thank you for all of your support this year, for all that you've done, and for all that you will do in the future, because we know every time you'll be there.
show. How many of you, raise your hands because I'm a teacher, how many of you have been to one of our holiday shows before? Oh, that's a lot. Good. How many of you have never been to one of our holiday shows? That's a lot too. Well, welcome for all of you who are just joining us, and welcome back for those of you who have been a part of this celebration for, I think it's been about 6 or 7 years. Our very first show we did at the Bijou in Bridgeport, and since then we've been here at Fairfield Theater Company for all of our holiday shows. Now, some of you know that in the summertime, we always partner with another nonprofit that reflects the theme of our show. So when we did Bye Bye Birdie, we partnered with the American Veterans and so forth. This is the first year, and you're going to hear more about this later. First year that we partnered with another nonprofit, and I'm sure some of you brought coats and hats and mittens and gloves, and you're going to hear about that if you forgot and you're coming back tomorrow. We'll bring more back tomorrow. So we want to thank our wonderful musical director, Chris Coogan. A lot of the songs that you're going to hear today, you'll check your programs, a lot of those that you hear are either composed by him or arranged, and they're lovely. And he's the reason that we're actually making this a very jazzy Christmas. On the piano, starting out, is actually one of his students, a protege, Carl Schultz. Related to Charles Schultz, but he told me he is not. I don't just know about that because I'm an actor and that's what I do. So we're very happy that you joined us tonight, Carl. Thank you. A big applause for Carl. In our band, we have Nick Troutman and Willie Bruno, who are joining us again. I don't know how many of you have memorized our mission statement, but we've added the word social responsibility. We've been about that for years, since we founded as a nonprofit many years ago. But we've added that. We've always been about creating young performers, not just performers, sorry, but also young leaders through arts education and productions. And there you're going to see them tonight, elbow to elbow with us Broadway stars. And they learn along with us right on stage. Not only that, they learn how to be leaders and grow in the community and be a part of that through what they're learning through the arts. So you can see some of our upcoming events. We're partnered with the Norwalk Symphony again this year. Last year we did West Side Story with them, and full symphony on stage. This year it's going to be South Pacific, and that'll be in February. We hope that you will join us. We have our Giving Day. We have our annual galas that we hope you'll come to see. And again, this summer, and you're the first people to hear it, we're going to be doing Footloose. So that'll be fun, and that'll be over at Black Rock. So if you joined us for Birdie, that's where that was last year. We're thrilled to have you with us, and we're also thrilled to have a performer that's appeared in Hunchback of Notre Dame with us. Last year he came to the show. You loved him. It's Christian Cardozo, and I'm going to hand off to him and Chris.
Oh, perfect. Great.
It's a great time of the year, isn't it?
Oh, it's the best. Most wonderful time.
It'd be most wonderful, though, if some chick would get with me, you know? I don't know, I'm just saying.
I can't do it over.
Let's sing a little bit about it.
All right.
Jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell swing and jingle bell ring. Snowing and blowing a bushel of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun.
Oh, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell time and jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing from the air. In the frosty air. The right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is the swell time to go riding in a one-horse sleigh.
Jingle horse, jingle feet, jingle down the block.
Oh, and a mingle and a jingle in the beat. That's the jingle bell. That's the jingle bell.
That's the jingle bell rock.
Holly jolly Christmas.
All right.
In case I love you.
Oh, I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a couple of cheers.
Oh, holly jolly Christmas. And when you walk down the street,
Say hello to those chicks you know, and everyone you meet.
you know the mistletoe on where you can see somebody waits for you. Yes, sir. Oh, once for me.
Oh, she's my
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
And in case you didn't hear,
Oh, my golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year.
and we have since become good friends. Not only is she a super talented person, but she's also an amazing person. So give it up for Miss Jamie Karen.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes on the wall will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy holidays to
Chris and I got married in June. As newlyweds, our life together is beautiful and fresh as snow on a Christmas morning. We want to share that joy with you today and every day, whether it's your first Christmas or your 100th.
You know, folks, at this time I'd like to bring up a special invited guest, Backcountry Jazz. What that group does is they celebrate, preserve, and expand the rich tradition of the only uniquely American art form, jazz. Through the presentation of outstanding concerts with major jazz artists and rising stars, music education programs, and a summer music camp. So their leader, Benny Wallace, I'd like to have you come up. If there's anything you'd like to say, sir, round of applause for
Thank you very much. This is our Backcountry Jazz Performance Group, the Beboppers. And, they came up with the name. They actually came up with a couple of names, but this is the only one we could use. on flute and vocals, Sierra Bustillo Rodriguez. Ashley Hines on the alto saxophone. Deborah Smith on trombone. Caleb Schmala on the tenor saxophone. Soraya Newton back there on the piano and vocal. Kevin Guy on piano and vocal. Vinton Hines on drums. And Vince DuPont on the bass. We've been together, I think, what is it, about 4 years now? Yeah. We started our program, I guess, about 10 years ago in Bridgeport, and it started out as just teaching children music. And these children grew up on us. And but it's each year the program becomes more challenging and much more interesting. We just had a great time working with them, and I'm looking forward to presenting the group to you folks tonight. First thing we're going to play is What Child Is This? And do you all know where that comes from? It comes from an old folk song called Green Sleeves. And do you all know where Green Sleeves came from? It was originally a body tavern song. And the Green Sleeves was a woman whose dress got green from the grass. See, you can figure it out. But anyway, we did the cleaned up version. And so without further ado, here's What Child Is This?
tradition that we're passing on, and I got to tell you, I'm Scott Bryce. I'm a member of the board of directors of New Paradigm Theater. I feel sort of like as a parent, we watch our children grow up inside of our company. I'm watching Jennifer Beveridge on sax, who was like Artful Dodger and Oliver 4 years ago. Kimi, who was Oliver. It's just amazing to watch these kids grow up. One of our traditions that we're really proud of is that we like to not think of ourselves in competition with anybody. Oftentimes, not-for-profits feel like we're just chasing quarters from each other. And one of the things that we want to do is embrace. And instead of competing, we want to cooperate. And so we always try to find a partnership that we can work with. And for instance, in Hunchback of Notre Dame, we used the Burn Center. And in Oliver, it was the Bridgeport Council of Churches for Soup Kitchens. This year, we had 2 outstanding applicants who came through for our summer program, one of which we couldn't decide which to do. We thought, you know what? Let's start a new tradition and bring on a partnership to this Christmas show that we've never done. So today, I want to introduce Nancy Coughlin from Person to Person, who's our partner, to give you a little talk about what she does. So Nancy Coughlin.
Thank you.
Just towards the
Okay, all right. Thank you,
Hi, Nancy,
Scott.
absolutely. Welcome home. Happy holidays.
I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Kristen, everybody at New Paradigm Theater for starting a new tradition and including Person to Person in tonight's performance. We are a nonprofit organization, and I'm the executive director. My name is Nancy Coughlin. Our program, we've run a variety of programs that are aimed toward helping people achieve financial stability. So on the one hand, we're meeting immediate needs, and we do that through 3 food pantries, one in Norwalk, and we have a clothing center. We have financial assistance to help people pay rent, security deposits, utilities, and emergency bills, unanticipated expenses. We also, at the same time, try to change the trajectory of their lives by programs that support education and employment. So we send 400 kids to camp every summer so that they can have an enriching experience while their parents are able to continue working without worrying about childcare. And we have scholarships for colleges and for vocational programs. Some of them include mentorships. Most of the kids that we provide scholarships for are first-generation students. So we're trying to really change the trajectory of their lives. In 2018, we launched P2P on Wheels, which is a mobile food pantry that serves Stamford, and we go to 5 different neighborhoods in Stamford, soon to be 6 neighborhoods, so that we can get food directly to the people who need it most. We're able to serve the immigrant population, we're able to serve children, families with children, seniors, people at risk of homelessness. Unfortunately, we're seeing that need increase dramatically. This year, we just reached a bittersweet milestone. We provided enough food for our clients to prepare over 1 million meals. So the need is growing and it's large. We know that we cannot meet that need on our own. So what we do is we mobilize our volunteers. We've got about 4,000 volunteers who work with us every year to marshal the resources in the community. We've got hundreds of partners who provide food drives, clothing drives, and this is one of them today. So we're so grateful to have the hats and mittens and coats. Some of them are so beautiful that are in the lobby. I was really touched at the items that people brought. So thank you to everybody who brought items for us. We know that community is what makes us able to meet the needs of everybody. And tonight you are that community. So I thank you very much, and I thank you. Thank you.
This season of giving, think about giving here to person and spread the word of what you can do to help. Shortly, we're going to be taking a break, and during that break, I want you to remember we have a bake sale outside. We've also got another tradition here, Mrs. Claus's Naughty and Nice List. Now this is really great. If you know somebody who's been particularly nice, please fill out the form. If you know somebody particularly naughty, do the same, and that's going for a chance to get the door prize. Now, if this jazz ensemble inspired you, hopefully now we're going to have Chris Coogan come out and see if we can get a Jazzy Little Christmas going for all of us. Chris, why don't you take it from here? Master Maestro Chris Coogan.
All right, we're going to do some singing, but first.
a blessed angel came, and on to certain shepherds brought tidings of the saints, how that Bethlehem was born, the Son of God by name. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort, yeah.
All right, audience, we're gonna do a little something, something. Come on, Sopranos, raise your hand. How many Sopranos do I have in the house here? Come on, Soprano. We got a part for you. All right, come on, man. The demonstrators here will show you what to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Go up. Second, man, second. So that was our soprano part. We encourage you to
Everybody
sing
else is
that
off,
along.
so you guys gotta sing.
There we go. Yeah. All right, hold that. Altos, raise your hand. Here's your part.
All the altos sing that.
And you go up again. You go up.
Hey,
That's a hard part. Let's sing it again. That's a hard one. Then you go up. I want to put my soprano and my altos together. All right, hold on a second. We haven't done the men yet, Christian.
Oh,
We forgot about you guys. All right, Christian's gonna show you.
so,
1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Then you can sing.